Section 1. All right. First thing we did here is the change to when the company has to remove the 6 seats out of 76 seaters. Currently, the way the book is structured, it was whoever's on the seniority list at the date of signing. And this goes back to what was in place when we did the extension agreement. So that update, that date is going to be reset to this agreement signed September 29th if the pilots choose to ratify this deal. Pretty self-explanatory. All right, crew complement. This was something that was added in the Delta agreement that we thought was a good idea, and we started to add it to our agreement in a couple areas. So this is the provision that should one of our partners that we co-chair JV with, that if they add to their certificate and start operating with a single pilot, more specifically single pilot on the flight deck. So not just one pilot on the flight deck, one in the crew rest facility, but actually less than 2 pilots at the controls, that they have to meet with us. And the language is meet and discuss. There's not meet and agree on what happens, but at least we have a say that the company has to come talk to us. All right, notice of furlough. The book has a couple different locations depending on when you were hired, what the length of notice they have to give you. Also, this is complicated by some different states had different restrictions on what advance notice that was required. So we've just made it clean, and going forward, all pilots and any future furlough will at least get a 90-day notice. All right, the same thing, this provision right below it, you'll see in the book, it has something that says basically there's a staffing formula found in section 8, and it only said we only had to apply this to pilots that were on the senior list before, but now it's all pilots, current and future, have to be accounted for in the staffing formula. All right, this one is, we have a committee, I don't know if most people are aware of it, but it's called the RCRC. And it's part of the Scope and Alliance. And what they do is they meet with the company on a quarterly basis to make sure that all the scope provisions are being complied with. So they get provided data on, the capacity purchase agreements with our express carriers, the JV partners, make sure that everything is in compliance with the requirements of Section 1. During COVID, one of the things was it started happening was the company was not providing that information in a timely manner. So what we sought with the company, this provision is basically based on, you need to start providing the information as you're required. And if not, you're going to reimburse us the expense of buying this third-party software that has ability for us to do more real-time checking and compliance. So that's what this provision is about. That's what that Cerium product, it's basically, for those from, it's like kind of a offshoot of OAG, where you get aircraft, schedules, all that kind of stuff, but in a real-time basis. All right, in our slide deck presentation, you'll see that we have a couple at the back of each section. We'll have some of these items that we call just cleanup. Basically, it's removing stuff that's out of date. There's no real change of what current practice of what we're doing today. A lot of things were kind of cleaned up from what the current process is. So you'll just see these in the back. We're not going to go in much detail, but you'll see it that there's things that are innocuous, but they need to be updated to the agreement.